Let's take a look at COVID numbers being reported in area schools. Here's the latest online report from CCISD. There are now 11 staffers and 28 students who have tested positive so far. And here are some of the other stats being reported among Coastal Bend school districts. We'll have additional information on our website at KIIITV.com. More Coastal Bend students are heading back to campus for in-person instruction tomorrow. Corpus Christi ISD has been bringing students who opted for face-to-face learning back to campus in phases since September 8th. So far, 75% of those students have returned to school, and the remaining students who opted for in-person learning will return tomorrow. But down the line, parents do still have the option of switching their child's mode of learning every 6 weeks. Flower Bluff ISD students who opted for face-to-face will also be returning to their campuses tomorrow as well.